Today on the pod, we are talking gardens, specifically lawn feed. We've got a business called Grass Gains coming on. This is a small business. They did 200,000 last year. They're already on their target of hitting 500,000 this year, and then they want to do 1 million next year. They've just brought in a brand new MD, a chap called Steve, and it's Steve who joins me on the pod because whilst they're in garden centres, they're in retailers, and now they're dabbling with Amazon, they want to make their own website sales work that much harder. And that is why they're on the podcast. This can be a great conversation. Let's get into it. Welcome to Grow with Evergreen, the podcast designed to help you grow your business by providing practical insights into all things paid media, creative, and digital strategy. Every episode, we help home, garden, and lifestyle brands with their growth challenges by delving into their business, dissecting what they're doing, and defining a digital growth strategy they can take and deploy into their business. Let's get into it. Right, welcome back, beautiful people. We are once again live coming at you in your ears with the Grow with Evergreen podcast. We are talking gardens once again, Darren.
It's perfect weather for it.
It really is, because look, I have got the shorts are on. There we go. The legs are out. The legs are out because it is boiling.
It is. It's 32 degrees today.
Is it? It's cooking. Yeah. And we've only just come off the back of one heat wave.
I know.
We had a couple of days of respite, and it was sort of, I can sleep again. Now, crazy.
I believe it's something called climate change.
Let's not get into that. That's a whole different conversation. But we are talking gardens today, specifically lawn feed. This is going to be a great conversation. We just had a pre-chat chat. Chap called Steve. This is going to be a really good one. I know this is going to be a really good episode because there's going to be things we're going to talk about, which is going to absolutely help them on their way. Yeah. But it's also going to be incredibly relevant for lots of people watching this. Because what they need to do is what so many home and garden businesses need to do and do a better job of. But before all that, go on.
I actually want to just share with you. I gave you a hint at something I wanted to talk about with this brand.
You did. Yeah,
and I thought I'd just share it now because I've briefly looked at their socials, their website, and I've not seen this tagline used. And maybe it's something they used when they first set up and they're a bit over it now. But I thought it's criminal if they've not used this, to use some sort of tagline, which just came to my head of, got grass pains, get grass gains. Because it's a classic.
Have they used that or no? No.
I'm not seeing it.
Oh, okay, fine.
It's the classic no pain, no gain.
Oh, he's good.
So,
He's good.
No.
There you go, Steve. That's a freebie for you right there. He's waiting in the wings. We'll bring him on in a minute. That's a freebie right there.
I'd be surprised if they've not used it.
I like that. Is very good, to be fair. Well done. Yeah. I like that.
You could then, if from a graphic point of view, narrow it down and just do grass pains ? Grass gains.
Oh, that is really good. Yeah. That is really good. I think we can wrap the episode there. We've peaked. Okay. We have peaked. Right, but before we bring Steve on and get into it, we always like to give a little behind the scenes of what we're up to, and we have a very exciting sort of announcement of something that we're working on. We're working on a new content format that's going to be in addition to everything else. It's not to replace anything. It's just, this is because we're not giving you enough value. Yeah. We're doing something else, which is something we've been talking about for a while. When did we first? It was months ago when we first had this idea.
It was about a year ago.
Wow. And then
I've got a project on my laptop.
Actually, you really have.
The first iteration where we actually filmed something. Yeah. It was a different name.
It was.
And it was a completely different format, different location, different set, different style. Yeah. But it was the same general idea.
The premise was pretty much there. Yeah.
And that was it. It was August last year. So it's about 11 months
ago. Yeah. But we didn't do that because we are perfectionists. You know, with everything we do, the pod, Tea Talks, Uncut, nothing goes out unless we are absolutely happy with it. And with that as a format, we knew we wanted to do something, which we'll come on to explain what it is, but we weren't happy with it. And we've revisited it. And only now are we like, okay, now we're happy with it.
You could say a bit like, good grass. It takes time to grow.
You're struggling now. Come on, you're struggling a little bit. But so what we're going to do, we're going to be calling these sessions. They're going to be called home and garden sessions.
Yes.
And what these are going to be short, sharp content pieces. But unlike most of our content, they are going to be talking directly to camera, so not conversation or not, a bit.
One person.
And it's pure education. So, the pod's a bit more entertainment, education. Tea Talks is more sort of entertainment. And then Uncut's more the behind the scenes stuff. Whereas with what we're going to do with sessions, it's going to be 5-10 minutes talking directly to the camera with a whiteboard, camera overhead. So it's very much like, right, we're working with you, and we're advising you, educating on a very specific topic, and we're walking you through on the whiteboard. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is why we do it. This is the approach. And we're giving you all of the little nuggets of what we do for our clients across paid search, paid social, creative.
They are really
things.
our most sort of well-known YouTube style of videos that we're going to make. So a lot of what we make is very sort of conversational, very sort of people in the team. It's always because we've got behind the scenes with Uncut, and we've got Tea Talks, which is very conversational. They all include multiple people all having conversations. This is going to be our most sort of what you generally see on YouTube when it comes
someone
to
talking directly to camera, educating you on X or Y topic.
And we thought, well, why not?
We haven't done that, and
why don't we get a piece of that?
I tell you what we found different. What is different about that? Is because we've both done one or two now. And what we do, we'll get. We're looking at when we're going to release these. It won't be for a couple of months, but because we like to get a few in the bag, so that we're really happy with the format. We know it works. We've sort of tested it, and then once we've recorded 6, 8, 10, we'll then start to push them out. That's the way we do all of our content. But one thing we found, this is a little sort of behind the scenes for you. One thing we found is it's very, very different when you're talking directly to the camera. So directly to I'm talking to this camera right now, when you're presenting like that, you've got to obviously, you've got to be personal, you've got to talk to the camera. But then when you're trying to write as well on a whiteboard,
that's the hard part.
That is a very different, because like this now, it's more conversational. I feel very relaxed, very comfortable.
I could talk and talk.
But talk to the camera as well as being writing and explaining something and trying to be concise without loads of ums and ahs and all of that. Very difficult.
It is.
Isn't it?
It's difficult as well because of how we do everything else. You really have to change your mindset on your entire body language, your entire sort of how you speak. So it took. I mean,
it's very different, isn't it?
While recording, because it's Archie who's going to be editing the bulk of the episode, and I apologized to Archie several times. I was talking to the camera, apologizing to Archie, knowing he was going to watch it back, going, "Sorry, Archie, you're going to have to cut this up a lot."
Yeah, it is, but they're going to be good anyway. We've recorded a few, but so keep an eye out for them. They'll probably be out, I don't know, September-ish, I reckon.
Yeah, a couple of months.
But yeah, they're going to be good, and hopefully they'll be well received. So yeah, there you go. That's a little insight into what we've been up to. Let's talk grass gains. Do you want to just paint a picture for us, Darren, in terms of this business, where they're at? We had a little pre-chat beforehand with Steve. So Steve's come on as the MD. So he's only joined a few months ago, and he's come in because basically this is a small business with big plans of where they want to go. They're already, as I said, doing some garden centre stuff. They're in retailers, they're on Amazon, etc., etc. But you wanted to run us through, because all of our guests fill in an application, and that will just paint a picture for us.
Yes, as you say, all of our guests fill in an application, and we always ask them the same questions, and we like to run through that so that our listeners and viewers get a good chance to see what we're working with today. So we always ask what their estimated monthly revenue is, and they've said 50,000.
Lovely.
How many team members do they have? They have 5 team members. We also ask for 3 marketing challenges, and today we've got nice, succinct challenges here. So the first one is marketing on a shoestring.
Okay.
Second one, we've got linked up digital presence, which is an interesting one.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know more about that. And third one, we've got brand awareness, which I think everybody wants to be aware. So it's definitely one that a lot of people can relate with. What marketing platforms are you currently using? Wix-based website, which I have to say, when I was back in the day as a freelance sort of setting up my own website and trying to get out there. I went with Wix.
Did you?
So I do know a bit about making a Wix website.
It's entry level stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
it serves a purpose.
I'm talking to someone who used to make
I used to build
websites.
websites. It serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. Yeah. But when you grow, a lot of businesses, nothing against Wix, it knows its market, it knows its customer. But a lot of businesses you kick on, these guys will outgrow Wix.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that now.
Yes. They also use TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Amazon.
There you go.
Their current marketing spend is about 30,000 a year.
Yeah.
And we always ask, where do you want your business to be in a year? They've said twice the size that it is today. And based on their current.
They're already doing that.
They're doing that already. What do you want your business to look like when it's finished? Is something that we always ask, and they have said consumer engaged at all levels.
There you go.
Very nice.
We've got some questions as well, haven't they?
Yes. So we always ask for 3 questions for Aaron, and they've said, what are some of the most common mistakes home and garden brands make when running Google or Meta ads, and how can we avoid them? They've also asked, how do you recommend balancing long-term brand building with short-term performance when running paid campaigns for lifestyle or garden products? And finally, they've asked, what does a realistic paid media strategy look like for a brand like ours that's growing quickly but still needs to be cost conscious? It's interesting. I've got 2 things to say here.
Go on.
1, really good questions.
Yeah.
2, it's definitely ChatGPT. You know how I can tell?
How?
There's an M dash in there.
We'll call you out, Steve. But
still really good questions.
Yeah, no, they are genuinely. They're really good questions. So we, as I said, we had a chat in before we came on, and I think this is a business. The reason why I think this is going to be so relevant for our audience is so many business, if you're a small business, you're doing your first few 100,000, it's what do you do? Because there's so many things you could do. There's so many platforms, and this is a business that they've got into some garden centers. Amazing. They're in Dobbies and various others. They've got into some retailers. Lovely. But the percentage that's coming through their own website, which is where you're going to make the best margin, which is where you're going to own the customer, which is where you're going to have the best chance of increasing the lifetime value and building the sense of community and a sense of, that is your customer. Very, very small. And that is going to be, and they've just doubled in with Amazon and so on and so forth. So I've got some ideas on what I would do, but they've got a lot of the sort of the fundamentals in place that I'd want. And now it's a case of just like, do the right thing. And this could take off very nicely. Right. Let's get Steve on and just get into this because I've got loads I want to get through.
Yes, let's do that now. Here we go.
Steve, are you there, my friend?
Good morning.
There we are. Coming in. Right. Firstly, are you guilty of using a bit of ChatGPT on the old questions?
I am guilty of using a bit of ChatGPT.
The never fails, does it? There you go.
It never does. I can't believe I left it in there.
I'm pulling your chain.
I genuinely think it's a good thing to do because I think
we use it all the time.
Yeah, we use it, and for things like that where you want to get the best value out of something,
100%.
That's a really good use case for it. So I don't blame you.
No. We're jesting. We're jesting. So, Steve, do you want to just give us 30 seconds? You, the business, paint a picture for us. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. I guess for me, I've been in kind of gardening 25 years now, mixing between kind of everything, plant foods, lawn care, a lot of time in compost, and a lot of time working with new businesses. This is kind of the third startup young business that I've been involved in. So it's all really exciting. Made this move kind of 3 months ago. Grass Gains itself, really young business, started kind of 3 years ago, was developed by 2 groundsmen, one of which was groundsman at the Emirates Stadium, the other one doing grounds, cricket grounds, school grounds, etc. So they really know their stuff when it comes to lawns. And they teamed up with a guy called Henry Lansbury. And Henry Lansbury is an ex-Premiership football player, kind of Arsenal, Fulham, Nottingham Forest. And they got together and felt that the products in the market that consumers were using are kind of designed for consumers, but there are better professional products that consumers could use and get better results. And that's what they decided to do, is take those kind of premium professional products and bring them to consumers to deliver better lawns.
Got it. Okay, amazing. And this is 2 or 3 years in, and you said last year they've done a couple of 100,000. They've brought you in earlier this year, and you're now setting your sights on seriously scaling this thing up. So what does the future need to look like over the next sort of 2, 3, 4 years?
We've got to double the business kind of year on year for the next 2 or 3 years at least, and get ourselves to kind of a level where we're not looking at the fact of the size of the company. We're actually looking at how we grow and get better and do things in a more organised manner. So at the moment, it's all really exciting, really fast. Everything's really moving, but the plans are all being put in place just to kind of keep that momentum going in terms of growth. And we've got a lot of the market to go at. We're a minnow in the market at this point in time. Yeah. But I think the guys have done a lot of really good groundwork in terms of the products, the branding. Everybody loves the Grass Gains branding. And the packaging. So we just need to take that and just take it forward, extend the range and extend our reach.
Have you used the tagline that I said earlier?
I haven't, but I have written them down.
Hey.
So don't be shocked if it
I'll
appears
be
on a pack
pleasantly
soon.
surprised. I hope so.
That you can send if you use it, you can send Darren some grass gains in the post.
I could do with some.
There
of
you
that.
go. You could do with a bit of that. I think we all
Do
could
that.
at the minute. The lawn is like my lawn is as dry as I mean everyone's is at the minute. I looked out, it's like it's just a sea of yellow at the moment. On my lawn. Amazing. Okay, look. So the business needs to I've got the eyes. I've got the eyes. I do it every time. I've got the eyes.
You've been good recently.
Have I? I've done one or two. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I will button it.
Before we go any further, it's time for a paid media mystery. That's right. It's time for our paid media mystery, the part of the show where we ask Aaron and our guest a multiple choice question. And of course, it's always industry related. So today we're talking about lawn care related products. Okay. And the beauty is you get to play along at home. So today our question is, what is the most searched lawn care related phrase in the UK during spring in 2025? So this is during the last spring.
Just gone.
Spring just gone. What was the most searched lawn care related phrase in the UK? So your choices are A, best lawn feed for stripes.
Okay.
B, how to fix patchy grass. C, green lawn fast. Or D, when to scarify lawn.
Oh.
So again, that's A, best lawn feed for stripes. B, how to fix patchy grass. C, green lawn fast. Or D, when to scarify lawn.
What do you reckon, Steve?
I think, and I'm going to take this from the fact we did Gardeners World Live 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we talked to a lot of consumers then. Out of those, the one that came up the most was patchy grass.
Yeah, that's where I was immediately going to go, was B, patchy grass. But just to be different, I'm going to go A, just because I know
best lawn
a friend of mine is obsessed with its stripes.
Really?
Yeah, like he's like to the point where just all the time. I'll go A just to be different.
So we've got A and B selected. The correct answer is C. Green lawn fast. Which was the number one rising lawn care search with over 33,000 monthly UK searches at its peak. The phrase reflects urgency and visual results, making it perfect keyword for high converting paid search campaigns.
What was it?
Green lawn fast.
Okay. Well, that's giving me an idea for what we're going to talk about. So that's good. I like that. There you go. Amazing. There you go. Very good. Oh, we're both wrong on that one. That doesn't rarely happen, actually.
No, it doesn't.
We're both wrong.
Usually someone's right. But there you go. I reckon the others are very close behind.
Yeah.
Don't try
and make us feel better, Darren. We got it wrong. Come on. We can take it.
Well, yeah, there you go. So there's your paid media mystery.
Right, very good. Okay, let's get straight into these. Well, that was what I was saying is, so we know the business wants to double and double and double. Lovely. In terms of, have you worked it out? I appreciate you've only been in post for a few months. So have you yet to sort of work out that, okay, in 5 years, we're going to be a 5 million turnover business, whatever that looks like. Have you sort of worked out what role you want the website to play versus the kind of the distributors and the garden centers and retailers? Have you mapped that stuff out yet or not yet?
No, not really. Not to the point of what kind of percentage of business we're going to have from each channel.
Okay.
I'm really keen, and I know it's a kind of a normal term that's used, for the business to be as omni-channel as possible from a perspective of, I don't want the web business, as much as it's great and as much as it's really strong margin for us, and that's really important, helps us with cash and everything else at this point in time. I don't want the web businesses to undercut the retail businesses. I want to be able to support the retailers because we need to be there in all channels.
I completely agree. It makes complete sense. I mean, we've got a number of clients that we work with that do this is their business model. They sell online, they sell through marketplaces like your Amazons, but then they're in garden centers, they're in retailers. We've got a number of clients that do exactly that, and I think you're absolutely right. I love it. That's a great marketing phrase, right? Omni-channel marketing mix. We love that. We want that. So that makes sense. I think reason I asked the question is I think it's important. At the moment, you said you did a couple hundred last year. You're well on course. You're ahead of where you wanted to be in terms of doing 500 this year, and then you want to do 1 million next year in terms of sales. But at the moment, only 25% of that is coming through the website.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then the other 75 is through your retailers, your garden centers, etc. So I think as the business is scaling up, I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know if you know this, but of that increase that you've seen this year versus last year, is that still the percentage, the 25-75 split, or has it got more extreme towards garden centers as you've got more relationships, or equally is it the other way around? What does that look like?
It's become more internet based this year. So last year wasn't 25%.
Right.
It was
Okay.
probably 10% online, because last year we had the Wix website up and running and
Yep.
doing some business on there, but that was pretty much it as far as online. This year we've kind of gone on to Amazon. TikTok Shop is rapidly growing for us over the last month or so.
Yep.
So that's where the 25% has come from. I haven't kind of defined in my mind. Honestly, don't know is the answer
Sure.
as to how much of a percentage the web business will be versus the bricks and mortar. Gardening is a unusual sector, because as much as we're all buying more and more products online, people like to go to garden centres. It's more than
Absolutely
just
they
going
do.
shopping.
Yep.
So I
My
would
wife
always,
does, that's for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Every weekend.
So this is why the retail's the most important in my mind, because that's where gardeners go.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to want all of the. I mean, I'm completely with garden centers are destinations. You know, we work with a number of garden centers. They are destinations. They are hubs. They are where everyone goes there now. The families go there with the little kids. The grandparents go there for tea and walk around. Young couples are going there on dates. Like garden centers are becoming they are destinations. So, so I think it may and what you're going to see, obviously, one of the reasons probably for the year-on-year increase is because now you're stocked on Amazon, now you're in garden centers, you're in Dobbies and various others, you're in retailers. Of course, that's going to have a natural, knock on. And I know as a consumer, if I go into a garden center and buy a product and I really like that product, I have done this many, many times. Is you then go, I really like this brand, this is a good product, I'll go online and I'll buy it. And obviously, yes, if you find the Amazon link, you might buy it there. If you find the independents, you find it there. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And I don't think you need to worry about working out what percentage does it need to be. The only reason I ask that is because if you had it that, okay, the business needs the website to be contributing 500,000, 1 million, 250,000, whatever, that would then dictate, okay, what do we need to invest into marketing to make that happen? Because at the moment, you said on your application, you're spending about 30K a year roughly on your marketing, but all of that cost is going into, you said it's going into sort of display units for retailers, and then you're dabbling now with a bit of Amazon ads. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So you're not doing any, what I would describe as paid media, Google ads, Meta ads, anything like that, no?
No, not at this stage.
Fine. Your TikTok and your socials, who's fronting that, doing the stuff, the funny sort of clips in terms of in the garden? Who's that?
So we've got one of the directors, one of the guys that started the business, a guy called Joseph. He's doing all the videos at this point in time for TikTok, and he's fronting most of what we're doing on TikTok Live. He's just, I kind of refer to him as a bit of a Duracell bunny. He's just absolutely packed with energy.
He's great. He's brilliant. Yeah, he needs to do more. Like pass on. He needs to do more. He's great. We were loving that. We were
really
watching.
good.
He's doing really good. And who is it that's coming up with the? Is it this? What's his name?
Joseph.
Joseph. What is it, Joseph, that's coming up with because a lot of it's very current, very trendy.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I was looking through the TikTok, and there's a lot of things on there that is very like a lot of like similar sounds and similar trends. And so, is it him who's coming up with the ideas? And
so the ideas are a mix. So I've kind of given them a calendar of the jobs that we ought to be doing at various points in the year. So when we do filming once a month for the next month, as it were.
Yep.
So I want them to have content that's relevant to what gardeners are going to be doing at that point in time. Then we've got a lady who's a friend of the guys in the business called Meg. And Meg and Joseph, when they meet up, Meg has already put together her view of things that should be involved and what the video should be about. So she's the one recording the video, but she's quite strongly involved in terms of what content, and she'll talk it through with Joseph, and then they'll come up with how they're going to format it, etc.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, because love that, you know, and it's not
really
every
good.
brand, you know, in small business is doing that, and often we have to say, go and do that, you know, help humanize your brand, get your personality across. So the fact that you're already doing that, I love that. I think, look, you know, I would, if this was my business, I know exactly what I would be doing with this. Is I would be, if this is a content play all day long, you know, in terms of it's. You need to, you were saying, and on the website, you know, you've got a few videos and this, that, and the other, but I think you need to do, you could and should be doing so much more with when it comes to video to educate, but do it with your own sense of humor and sort of your own take, your own twist. And I think that's, for me, that's how I would be scaling this brand. Is I'd be tapping, but I'd be doing the stuff on socials because that's good. Build your social following, lovely. But beyond that, what I'd be doing is on YouTube, I think YouTube could be massive for this because you've got something which not every business has, but which is so powerful, which is the before and after. Right,
Yeah.
you know, it's a transformational product, right? You know, and that's what you're hinting at with your socials. You're just going, here's the grass, it looks the state. You put our product on, look at what can be achieved. So the whole kind of before and after thing could be beautiful. And there are people. I mean, one of our clients, we mentioned him a few times, Garden on a Roll. You know, they do exactly this. They do loads of social. And that's a brand for you to check out. And if you want an intro, I'm happy to intro you because you're in. They do the same shows as you guys. They're one of our clients. They're really good guys, but they do loads of their content, and then you can turn the content into ads, which I'll come on to because it's very you know, it's very aspirational. It's very much like, here's what you could have. It's, you know, you're educating and you're informing and you're doing it with a big dollop of sort of humor and good fun. So I would be going all in on YouTube with this and creating, and because you said when we were talking before that you create, you know, you've created a handful of videos, but then you when you do your social stuff, you said people get in touch, right? They're sending you messages going, you know, what is this? How do I use it? And you're having phone calls, you're sending messages, walking them through how to do all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So I would be, you know, I'm always one for wanting to leverage our time. So I would be looking at all of the questions that your customers asked. If you created and you've kind of started to do this, but this is the play I would be doing. You've got on the website, you've got a video section, you've got a how it works type thing as well. I would be going to town on that. And whereas at the minute, if I go onto the videos page on your website, and if anyone wants to follow along, it's grassgains.co.uk. So, you know, it's a really nice website. I say it's a very strong branded identity. But on your videos page, you've got what, 3 or 4 videos?
Yes.
Yeah, the formatting needs some work. The spacing is not right. What I'd be doing is I would actually start this. I would do a big, and again, who looks after the website? Who manages that and all of that good stuff? Who does that?
That we just do internally at this point in time.
Fine.
Obviously, again, just because we're a young business, it's just
Sure.
something that we jump on and off.
Yeah. So what I'd be doing, do you know what Google Search Console is? Have you ever heard of
I've
that?
seen it briefly,
Yeah.
but I haven't really
So
looked at it yet.
Search Console, if you want a hand after the pod, let me know and I can give you a hand setting up. So Google Search Console is a free tool from Google. It's you know, you've got analytics, which will tell you your traffic. It'll say, oh, you know, this many people on your website, these are the pages they've visited. That's analytics in a nutshell. Search Console is another free tool from Google, and it will tell you, crucially, how people find you. And I would be doing a little research piece into that for one very simple reason. You want to understand the pain point that people have and the ways in which they search, like paid media mystery. So that green lawn fast is a perfect example. If a bucket load of people are searching for green lawn fast, I would be creating content, a video that is basically titled that it answers exactly that thing. You need a green lawn fast. This is how to do it. Buy the product. Apply. This is how you apply it. This is what you do. Bang, 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 bang. You're going to sweep up so much content. And if you do it with this Joseph chap who's good on camera, it could just be so powerful. It could be so powerful because you could capture so much traffic. And remember, YouTube is the second most popular search engine in the world. And the most Googled word in the world is YouTube. So YouTube is a massive opportunity for you to educate, entertain, inspire, show the before and after, and capture all of that traffic when people are going, yeah, I want to improve the lawn. I need a green lawn fast. How do I do this? How do I do that? Here's all of these questions. And I'd be creating video content that captures all of that. And then I would be creating playlists. I'd be tagging them, writing, optimizing them with descriptions, etc.
I think what's really interesting as well is I've just searched Green Lawn Fest on Google, and at the very top, above any of the sponsored stuff, is 3 YouTube videos. The first one is a before and after video.
Oh, you see. Oh God, this is so good.
The second one is how to get your how to green up your lawn in a day or less. So it's a fast thing. The third one is another really good tip, I think, is using a number. So it's 3 lawn tricks to make your
all of that.
lawn.
But you could mix up and try different things. But it would be how to get a green lawn fast. How to get a green lawn fast. Joseph on camera walking through your ABCs of what you need to do and why you need to do it and how to do it. It's just beautiful. But
it's so interesting because actually with those videos on my screen, only one of the sponsored links is visible if I don't scroll down, which means it's taking up way more space on the page than any of the sponsored links.
And Steve, you said at the minute, you said what you're doing is socials, very powerful. Love socials. Socials great. And we actually spoke before we came on air, and you were saying, Darren, that you said that with the creative they're putting up on socials, you could quite easily, with the right touch, you could repurpose a lot of that into ads.
So that's the thing. So you were talking about Garden on a Roll.
Yeah.
And the thing about Garden on a Roll is I don't 100%. Get to make a lot of ads for them because their social stuff works so well that we don't need to make video ads for them.
And then we put a call to action on all that.
We do,
But so you can, what you do for your ads, the play I'd be making with this is you take the best content on your socials, you take that, you refine it, you make it work as in an ad format, few seconds, this, that, and the other. And then you think of it from a funnel perspective, the different pain points, the different stages your customer's at for prospecting, retargeting, all of that good stuff. You could target with the creative. You can have some fun with this from an ad perspective. But what you do, that social content is very separate. And what you said, Steve, before we came on air is you said, we've got a handful of videos, and we've got a YouTube channel, but it's really just being used as a placeholder. That's where the videos are housed, but then we don't really push our YouTube channel. We just have them on our website, and then we put some of the stuff on our socials. Is that correct?
Yes, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I would be flipping this on its head. For me, if you went on the videos page, I would have a series of videos with categorized. So I would have subcategories that says, how to this, that, and you're going to know the topics, the subtopics better than I am, but how to take care of your lawn, how to do this, how to apply the treatment, and then you have videos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that goes through, all of these things, all of the questions people are going to answer. So I'd be putting loads more videos on the website, but then I would be optimizing YouTube and turn your YouTube channel, make it a priority. So put a banner in, write a proper description, create playlists, optimize your videos.
I mean, one of the things that you can automatically start doing is just all the stuff you're doing on your other social media, just upload them as YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, exactly that. 100%, all of that.
Because it's a really quick and easy thing.
Make YouTube a primary focus for this business, and it will just it will kick on. It will take off. And the beautiful thing about this is if you make content your central play from an online perspective, and you will see that will have a domino effect. You will see increased Amazon sales because people will find you and they'll watch the video. But you're also going to have, you're going to see obviously the website, but you're going to see more Amazon. You're going to see more, uplift in the garden centers, et cetera, because you're educating. And it's not, you don't just do that. You do it in amongst everything else. But yeah, better. And again, go and look at some of your competitors, go and look at other businesses, go and look at our channel, on YouTube, for example, albeit a different world in terms of an agency, but see how we've structured it. See the amount of videos, see how we write our titles, see how we do our thumbnails, because you haven't got any thumbnails really on here beyond just snippets of the videos. Have really strong thumbnails that the wording on the thumbnail says, green lawn fast. Oh.
Also, I'll give you a bit of an insider tip, actually, and this is going to help your videos get more searchable, is if you use ChatGPT, take the transcript from a video, which YouTube will give you automatically, pop that into ChatGPT and get it to give you a list of timed chapters for the video. Pop those in the description of the video. Each one of those is then a link to each of the chapters at each time in the video. They all become individual Google search.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You just clean up the traffic.
Yeah.
Steve, does this make sense what we're saying? So I'm very aware we've just been very on, but this is the play, my friend. This is how you win. 100%.
100%. And look, the YouTube, I think we do need to focus on that. I completely agree with you. It's an underestimated part of the business. And actually, the ChatGPT thing, I'm a great lover of ChatGPT. It's so useful. But no, I will definitely look at how we can do this. And you're right, the before and afters. Sometimes when we do the social stuff, we'll show people how to do it. And the first clamoring answer question that comes through is, "Well, show us the after picture."
Yep.
Yeah, and
And
it just
obviously,
it just takes more planning, doesn't it?
yes, indeed.
People love it's anything before and after. Whenever we have a client where before and after, we immediately hone in on that because we go, that's what people want to go.
And
It's,
what
oh
I
my
would
God, that's
do,
what
I
can
would
have.
do with those videos particularly is don't leave the before and after till the end. Start the video with the before and after, and then go
Now we're
back
gonna
to
show
the
how we
start
did
and
it.
show how it's done.
Absolutely.
Because people will much more likely want to know how it's done if they can see the results at the beginning.
Yeah, it's a great point. That's a great point. But I think what you're doing, Steve, is I think we've had many a client, do this, and we've done this in the past. Is when you take a social media first approach to this. This is a really important point for everyone listening and watching on. Because a lot of small businesses, particularly in the home and garden space, they're very busy pushing lots of content out. So we're on TikTok every day, we're on Instagram every day, we're pushing out content. Great. The thing to remember with socials, particularly if you're just doing loads of organic stuff, is you post it on social, it has its moment, and then it sort of goes into the ether, and it's really never going to see the light of day again. The difference with search is the clues in the name. People are searching. So when you put something up on, Google or YouTube, it doesn't just have it stay and then go. It sticks around. And if you do it well and you optimize it well and you lean into the algorithm and you do all of this good stuff, it can stick around for a very long time. And so whilst you need to be doing the socials, absolutely, you want to have that assurance that the stuff up on YouTube. I'll give you an example. We've got content on YouTube, podcasts and our various content streams that, even right now as we're recording this, there are people watching our content that we created last year. Is there anyone that's watching or seeing any of the content on socials, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on this, that, and the other that I published even 2 weeks ago? Probably not. Not unless I'm chucking a few quid behind it. So that is a good way to think about. And if you're talking to colleagues in the team, think about if we put stuff up on socials, which we need to do, it's going to have a very short shelf life. If we take the time to optimize it for YouTube, it will pay you. You create a really good video with a great tag, headline, title, really strong thumbnail. You do that, and then really great content. It needs to be good quality content. It will pay you dividends for years.
That makes absolute sense. Yeah, no, that makes absolute sense. Definitely.
Who would you say is something maybe don't give them a shout out, but the leader in your space, the biggest brands in your space. For me, what I would do is I would jump onto YouTube and I would be looking for. It doesn't have to be the exact product, but I'd be looking for other sort of semi-related gardening brands, and I would be looking at who is doing YouTube really, really well, and then I would take inspiration. And if you can't find anyone in your space, then go slightly broader, but find 2 or 3 channels with good subscriber numbers, good engagement, good viewer numbers. It doesn't have to be like in the millions, but just good, solid numbers where they're adding genuine value. And then I would do my research into that, and I would swat up, well, what are they doing? How have they structured their account? What playlists have they got? How are they, optimizing their page titles? What sort of thumbnails are they putting out? And then you got to test and experiment. But that as a play, it put education at the forefront of this and do, as you say, how-tos, before and afters, inspiration, walkthroughs, explainer videos, all of that. That will just have, and then as you say, then you separate to that, you have your YouTube campaign, if you like, your YouTube strategy. Then separate to that, I would then be going, right, we've got YouTube there as a backup, and we're pointing people to. Beyond that, I would be looking at saying, well, from a social perspective, as and when you've got budget to put into ads, let's do retargeting. So anyone that engages with your posts, on any of the platforms, if they engage with any of your organic content, I'd be building retargeting audiences to then put ads. And the good thing with retargeting ads is it doesn't cost you a fortune because you're only going to your audience. So anyone that's bought the product, anyone that's been on the website, and you could set these all up. And again, you can get someone to give you a hand. We could give you a hand. Anyone can give you a hand. But set up retargeting. So anyone that's been on the website, anyone that's engaged with you on socials, anyone that follows your pages or expresses an interest, anyone that's been a customer before, I'd be capturing all of those people, and then I'd be showing retargeting ads, which again I would be taking a bunch of your best performing organic posts and looking at what are the points they raise. So you're educating, you're informing, what are we not doing? And then I would make sure you're covering all the bases. Are we driving them to the website? Are we saying check out our YouTube? Are we saying we're running a discount, or we're doing this, or we're doing that? Are we upselling? Are we cross-selling? And I'd be driving people through that retargeting. You'll get a smashing return on that. And again, this would be, for me, Meta and TikTok retargeting. Super powerful.
Excellent. No, I really appreciate the advice.
My mind is literally racing with so many ideas of what you could do. I almost want to just kind of talk amongst yourselves, because I just got so many things I want to just do. Hold on, I'm going to YouTube a few things, because this just genuinely is fascinating. I just love stuff like this, because you can just see, I've just looked green lawn fast, right? That as a term.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. So there's I'm not going to name who they are, but there's a big brand with a great business name. It's sorry, it's an inside joke. But their video, which is not really optimized for this term at all, has had tens of thousands of views.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of views for this. I mean, some of these shorts, because to your point, Darren, all the shorts that you're putting up on socials,
we've already done it.
All of them on YouTube.
YouTube Shorts.
Oh my God,
it doesn't take any extra work other than uploading them.
Steve, please go and do that today. Just get them all up there, because I've got 55,000 views.
Don't do them all at the same time.
No, stagger them. No, that's a good point.
Do like 1 or 2 a day.
There's some of these shorts on here where they're really short clips with a bit of humor, a bit of personality, which is exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
These have got tens of thousands of views as shorts.
People love it.
But do you know what? That's all you need to do. Just go and do that. Honestly, go and do that and come back on the pod in 6 months and tell us how well it's worked. Like that, genuinely. I don't even want to talk about ads or anything beyond that, because you don't need to, I would be doing ads, as I said, from a retargeting perspective. For where you're at, I wouldn't be, I would say you're too early to start doing Google. I think Google ads, will get, as in like search ads and shopping ads, I think will cost you quite a bit. I think I would want to be closer to 750, 800,000 before I dabble too heavily into Google personally, if it's my business, for this, because the price point, the 15, 20, 25 pound, that price point, you need a certain economies of scale, which means a certain level of investment. You're not going to be able to make that. It there becomes very difficult. And if you dip your toe with Google search, it's hard to get a return. So what I would be doing with Google is I would do some, and this is where it's going to get a bit technical. So if you're not sure, you can let me know afterwards and I can explain it further. But essentially, I'd be doing demand gen, and then I'd be doing it for a warm audience, a retargeting audience. So demand gen is Google. It's Google campaign, but it's the one that's most like Meta. It's most visual. It's got the most creative assets, and they're not people that are on Google that are actively searching, but it's people that have an affinity, they have an interest in the product. And then if you do it with really great creative, you can, and particularly only to a warm audience, that can work really, really well. So I'd be looking at that, but Meta from a retargeting. Before we go any further, are you enjoying today's episode? If so, you'll love our other show, Tea Talks. They're short, informal chats where the Evergreen experts and I share actionable nuggets on all things paid media, creative, and digital strategy that we use daily when growing our clients' businesses. And best of all, much like this podcast, it's completely free. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, see the link in the description. Now, let's get back to it. So basically, if you do content, because again, the great thing, you can have a YouTube. If you nail YouTube and you start to get loads of views through these shorts, you can retarget all these people. So they've already watched your stuff, and then you're going out to a warm audience. And for this business, where you're at in terms of size, that's the play. Don't worry about the cold people, because they might see you in a garden center, they might see you on Amazon, this, that, and the other. But what you want to do is go, we're going to put education and answering your questions at the forefront through our content. And then as soon as you've engaged, as soon as you've watched, been on our website, etc., we're going to pixel you, and then we're going to retarget you with more of our education. Here's what you didn't know. Here's how to use the product. Here's this, here's that. Bang. And now you can buy the product.
No, well, look at that. That makes absolute sense.
That's the play.
Giving me a job list.
Oh, it's honestly, can I come and do it for you? Like, honestly, it's so exciting. There's so much you could do here with this. But yeah, look, Steve, do you have what were the questions? Because we probably answered them, but I don't want to give you too much more to do. But please do that. Come back in 6 months because
No, definitely. Well, it gives me something. To the whole point about the shorts, that's an easy thing for us to put a small amount of time aside every day.
Yeah,
and just put
get them
what I would do as well,
up.
if you haven't already, you could either invest or find a good free one. Use a social media scheduler.
Yeah, scheduler.
So we use one called Metricool, which is fairly well priced, I would say. And what that will allow you to do is just spend an afternoon just scheduling for like the month ahead. In terms of the shorts, and then you don't have to touch it.
Yeah, as Darren said, don't go and blitz and do 10 of them at one go because it'll hurt the algorithm. But yeah, drip feed them out, beautiful.
Mainly because what I'm thinking is, it would be easy to just do that, just do the YouTube stuff for now. But in the future, as you're putting it out on everything, I mean, if you're not using a scheduler already, I would imagine uploading content to multiple platforms is a bit of a pain.
Yes.
So I would absolutely look into that because it will be a huge time saver.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And there's loads of them on the market. We use Metricool, which is very good. But yeah, and I think, and then in terms of with YouTube videos, what I would be looking at is I would use Google Search Console to find out. You go into there, if you get that set up and you want a hand with it, just let me know and I'll walk you through it. But Google Search Console is where it will tell you how many people search and what they search for and in what numbers. So if you can identify, like the one that Darren said in terms of green lawn fast or how to get a green lawn fast, stuff like that. If you can find the key phrases, you go, God, blimey, 10,000 people have searched for that in the last couple of months. Lovely. That's what I would be using as the title or some variant thereof to capture that traffic because it's got a captive audience. And that's what I've done. Don't create the video and then think of the title. Work out what the title is going to be, what the hook needs to be, what the thumbnail needs to be, and then go, right, now we're going to create the video and answer that question as succinctly as we can. And then do those content and then, create that content and then start to put them out. And even if you do 1 or 2 a month, it could be amazing. That's what you need to do. Right. In terms of these questions, let's see. So you said, what are some of the most common home and garden mistakes home and garden brands make when running Google? How can we avoid them? I think the most common mistakes are, brands try and run before they can walk. They try and go out to a cold audience. They don't invest enough per channel. And they sort of go, well, we'll just spend, $1,000 or a few £100 and if it works, we'll prove. But unfortunately, Google spreads your budget over a 30-day period. So even if you're doing £1,500 onto ads, which for a small business like you'd put a look at that, you're spending 30K and you go, well, we'll start with 1,500. That's only £50 a day. If your cost per click is £2, £3, £4, you're not going to get that much data in. It means you won't get enough conversions because not every click is a conversion, which means the algorithm won't be able to kick in, which means you will make sales, but they'll be very expensive sales and the numbers will be, unless you've got great GPs, the numbers will struggle to stack up. So, which is exactly why I said, retargeting, yes, because they're warm. They're warm audience. They know you. They've expressed an interest. They've raised their hand and said, "Oh, I'm potentially interested." So those people, the odds are stacked more in our favor. So that's why for you, for where you're at, and probably for the next year, 18 months, I would be focusing on content and retargeting. How do you balance long-term brand building, short-term performance? Content marketing, it's kind of answered one and the same question. Content marketing is your long-term play. Don't do it and expect to see an immediate uplift and go, we've done this for 3 months. We're suddenly £1 million business. Content is a long-term play. And so you need to work out what you want to do and then do it with consistency. And one thing that we love to do, and we advocate our clients, is put a label on it, put a name on it. So if you're, it could be Grass Gains. I'm trying to think of something, but Grass Gains Guides or something. Like give it a name so it becomes a thing, and then commit to a frequency and a consistency of go, once a week we're going to put this out, and it becomes part of how the business is run, part of how you do marketing. Like we know every week for the last year and a half we've put a podcast out. We've never missed a beat. We never will miss a beat, and that consistency means it works. If we just were like most podcasts and did a handful and then went, well, that hasn't generated tons of leads and stopped, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So I think something, for me, content is long-term, paid to supplement it from a retargeting in the short term, get yourself, closer to 7 figures, then you're going to have, once you're doing 700,000, 800,000, you'll have enough fat on the bone to be able to go, right, we need to, or is it meat on the bone? It's not fat on the bone. Enough meat on the bone to be able to start to go, okay, we can now go cold, particularly if you're running Amazon, etc. And I think that kind of answered it. You said the third question was, what does a realistic payment strategy look like for brands? Retargeting, grow, and then prospecting when you're bigger. But the content will, again, when people have clicked the ads, if people can click that, go onto your website and see a whole treasure trove of videos, they also see they're getting retargeted. The brand is just popping up, bang, 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 bang. They're seeing you on socials. They can see you've got a full, vibrant YouTube channel. Oh, it screams, this is a brand that I can build know, like, and trust. They can tell me what I need to do, and I'm going to buy from them.
Fantastic. No, that's really good. I think you're right, because I think we've got a decent following. So we've got the kind of ammunition, or the base target to go after with retargeting, for sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just make sure you've got that in terms of, are we capturing data? Are we, have we got the Google tag on our website? Have we got the meta pixel on our website? Are we capturing that traffic? And make sure you are. And then when you set up YouTube, make sure anyone that views any YouTube content, you want to be capturing those. So you're retargeting all of these people. You get all these people that have engaged with the brand. And then it's a case of you just then show them a series of ads, and think of it as a series. Think of it as a story. So, right, what's, the first 2 or 3 things we want them to see? Oh, we'd like them to watch this video. What them to watch? Then, okay, let's assume they've bought the product. They're a little bit further down the user journey. Right, now what? Oh, now they need to know how to apply it. Now they need to have to maintain it. Now they need to know the frequency with which they need to, put it onto the grass, or whatever it might be. Think through the user journey that your typical customer is going to go through. And then again, the great thing with this is, once you do that, what you were saying about, you have calls and messages, and people go, oh, well, how like this? Save repeating yourself. You can just go, we've got, we've got a hub for that. Check out our YouTube channel. It's going to answer all your questions. It's going to save you a ton of time as well.
No, definitely. Okay, yeah, we definitely need.
Lovely. Look, sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, YouTube's one of those things that's kind of been sitting there in the ether, and it's definitely, from what you said today, it's kind of highlighted how much we need to focus on that and look at that as an opportunity. And I think we've got, to Darren's point, we've got the ammunition there to go and get on it straight away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Start with the shorts and then roll out the long form stuff focused on the pain points, the things that people search. And then, but make sure the titles and the thumbnails are on point. So the thumbnail needs to work hard in its own right, so that even if someone didn't see the title, the thumbnail they'd go like green lawn fast. If you're looking at, you'd go, yeah, that's what I need. How to get a green lawn fast. Like I would have like how to get a green lawn fast, or how to have a green lawn fast. And then the thumbnail would literally just be a beautiful lawn overlaid green lawn fast. Bang. That would work. Nothing more complicated than that. But the thumb and the title, very, very important to get the click.
I've been asking ChatGPT for ideas on names.
He loves it. Yeah, go on.
It's actually given me just another tagline idea instead, which I quite like, because it adds to the gain sign, is train your turf.
Oh, there you go. Like that. Any other little pearls from ChatGPT?
Well, there's a couple. So, I mean, interestingly, we have grow with Evergreen. You could do grow with gains, or grow with grass gains. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. That's nice.
There's turf tactics. That's quite
good. That's quite good.
There's a couple on there.
Steve loves a bit of ChatGPT, so he'll be often doing this. But that's what you need to do. But yeah, Steve, best of luck with it. This is, I think, is very exciting. You've obviously just come into this business, very exciting. So you've got, as I say, great brand, great product, great packaging. It ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? With the right marketing strategy, lovely. Because we haven't even spoke about, you do the content side, and this is the other big thing. You do the content well, that will have a really good impact for your conversations with retailers and garden centers, because it just adds immediate credibility. You go, we're a small business, but we mean business. Look at what we're doing. Yeah. Check out our YouTube content. It's the gift that just keeps on giving.
It creates that trust.
It does. Anyway, we're going to have to wrap this one up, Steve. Thank you so much for being on. Hopefully it's been useful and giving you food for thought. The very best of luck with it. Keep in touch. I would love you to come back on in sort of 6-12 months and just say, we're YouTube famous, and this is what it did for the business. I'd love that.
It's been incredibly helpful. Thanks so much, guys. Really, really interesting from my perspective.
Good man, appreciate it. Well, look after yourself. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Well, there you go. That was Steve. I knew. I called it. I said this is going to be a really good conversation. And it just was. I mean, I just love it when you find these businesses where you just can go, do that, and you are gonna just open up.
They've got the good foundation there.
Yeah,
it's just a couple of different
looks
things.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's clearly a product that there is a need for it.
Mhm.
Clearly, people are searching for it in their droves. And again, it's like most houses in the land have a garden,
That's
and lots of people want their garden to look good.
Yeah.
And if this, can do that, as you say, it's education. And for so many businesses, the education piece. But I think that a lot of businesses fall into that trap of going, well, we're going to put so much effort into socials, and that's great, but socials has a very short shelf life. Search and YouTube, has a years.
Yeah.
People, you add value to someone now.
100%.
Someone asking a question now, they're going to be asking someone else can be asking the same question in 10 years.
Well, let me just look actually. Yeah. So what 2 out of the 3 videos that came up that I mentioned before are from 2021.
There you go. So 4 years. And yet if you were at home, you're at your lawn, you think, oh, how do I do this? That video is still getting views now.
That's it.
And if you optimize that right, and then in there you have a link to the product.
Let's go look. That top video, let's see. That top video has got 500,000 views.
Wow.
There you go.
And are they linking to a product? Don't say who, but are they linking to? Have they got because if they haven't, then that is a schoolboy error. But that's what you do. You capture the views when people are looking, they're searching for the answer to a problem they've got, and then you go, yeah, great, here's the answer, and here you can buy the product.
It does.
That must be a cash cow for that brand. Whoever that is, absolute cash cow. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. I love it. Right, there you go. We almost need to wrap, but not before.
Oh,
there's a ring at the door. The ring. Doorbell, yeah, go for it. Google, oh man, I got you down. Here it is. Problems, not in our town. Not in our town, baby. Right, okay. So for those that maybe don't know, this is Paid Media Problems, which is...
Well, so it's a new segment, or fairly new segment on the show.
You keep saying it, but we've been doing it for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
It's still fairly new.
Where we get questions from our listeners and viewers where they can send in something. They might not necessarily have the time or the need to come on the podcast, but they've got 1 or 2 questions. They can send them in. And so if you're listening or watching at home, you can do the same.
Yes.
And where can they send those questions?
You can send them through... Well, Abby's increasingly putting posts out now on social, asking people for questions, which you can DM in on through Instagram. I don't know how that works, but she's doing that. And then... email hello@theevergreenagency.co.uk. Just put it as a paid media question. Or send it. Well, I mean, we've had people send us both DMs on LinkedIn. However, really, send a carrier pigeon. I don't mind. But yeah, we're having these now, and Abby's now getting a few of these. She posted a couple of days ago and had people ping them in. So this one is from Jess. It's a home decor brand. They've asked what is ad fatigue? I'm seeing stable ROAS, but not sure if I should mix up the ads. What is ad fatigue? So hasn't said whether this is on stable ROAS. It could be search, social, I don't know. But ad fatigue, basically, when your ads, if they've been out for a while, and then you start, what you're typically, the characteristics of ad fatigue, where we start to go, oh, maybe there's a bit of ad fatigue creeping in there, would be where... and this, I would imagine, just must be a marketer, because ad fatigue is quite a marketing term. But which is most of our, But yeah, so I would imagine ad fatigue for us is when you see your performance, you launch your ads, you get that initial engagement, it's sort of it's sort of incrementally, and then it starts to just wane off. So once the ads start to, the engagement starts to drop, if it's on social. Matt, head of paid social, and his team would be looking at a thumb stop rate, engagement rates, like all of the metrics that says people are still engaged in this audience. It's still fresh. It's still doing its job. Then we're happy with it. When it starts to drop off with a consistency, then we would look and go, is there reaching ad fatigue? To this point, I was talking to Matt about this literally a couple of days ago on Wednesday. It's Friday now, but on Wednesday when he was in the office, I was chatting to him about some clients and even our own stuff, and he was looking at the data, and there were certain ads that we were running that he was just like, yeah, that one's still flying, but there were others he was saying, he was like, yeah, ad fatigue's creeping in, and you can see because the view rate was starting to drop, the engagement rates were starting to drop, and at that point you then either make a change to the audience, go, we need to get this in front of maybe more fresh eyeballs, or we need to freshen it up. So I think it's, if you're seeing stable, if the ROAS is stable, then I wouldn't say. It's hard to know.
I guess a follow-up question I would have to that is what's the best metric to look at to see what the first signs of ad fatigue are?
It would totally depend on which platform.
Sure.
So if it's just social, then it's going to be, I think they would look at, his team would look at, as I say, how long are they viewing?
Sure,
is it getting the thumbs up rate and all,
yeah.
all of that? They would, if it's search or shopping, so more kind of Google type stuff, then you would see it fundamentally in the conversion rate and in the ROAS.
Okay.
It would come a little bit more down to that. Yeah. You'd still see the same thing on Meta. Ultimately, look, the proof's in the pudding, right? But what we try and shy away from is making lots of too frequent changes.
Yeah, well, that's
and
it.
I think that's probably where maybe this one comes from. Is lots of brands get nervous. They sort of go, well, not every ad is going to run and then just go and just keep building and building and building and building indefinitely.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to start to plateau and then it's going to start to have its day.
It sounds like to me, Jess, is it?
Yeah.
It sounds to me that Jess has maybe heard of this phrase.
Yeah, and how to identify
starting to worry that she doesn't know how to identify it. Yeah. She doesn't know if she's going to be getting it. And so she's just trying to sort of get herself cleared.
I think all ads, run their course. We change them on average. Yeah. We did our April Fool's on this, didn't we?
We did.
If you haven't seen that, Tito, it's a really good one. Look back on the. In fact, we'll have to. Archie, can you, when you edited this, or can you put the link to the April Fool's Tito? Because we did an April Fool's. It was just like, how long is the creative? And then we all come up with different. It's
how
quite
often
funny.
should you swap it?
So check that out if you haven't seen that. But yeah, I think to answer the question, I think we generally would look at ad fatigue as, give the ad, you want to give the ads long enough to run.
Yeah.
But if the ROAS starts to drop, if the engagement starts to drop, then maybe consider freshening it up.
But equally, don't do it too often.
But you don't want it. What some people do is they turn around and go, well, it came out, it was fast out the traps and it was doing great for the first week.
Yeah.
And then it's but sometimes plateauing, if it's plateauing at a level and it's consistent, lovely.
Yeah,
we love a bit of consistency when it's not always about just grow. If you can get it and go, well, we need to get to this level, there or thereabouts, and it's proving to be nice and consistent, beautiful. Don't rock the boat. Don't throw the baby out the bathwater when it comes to ads, because you think, oh, well, there's always that tendency with a lot of, less experienced marketers we see as they go, well, this is doing okay, but I think we can do better.
Yeah.
And then, well, let's stop that.
Yeah.
And then let's do something else. And then you're interrupting the algorithm. Don't do that. We see that a lot. And we just have to go, calm down the number of changes. Or we'll have clients say to us, that's been running for 6 weeks now. Should we not be changing it up? And we're like, why? It's lovely. It's just ticking along quite nicely. You've got a steady ROAS. Beautiful. Let's add something else. Let's not replace.
There you go.
Hope that's useful. Right, I don't know about you, but I am absolutely cooking in this room. We can't have the AC on when we're doing the pod because it's too noisy. So it is like a furnace in here. Absolutely, you can probably see I'm getting progressively redder and redder as the episode's gone
rising.
on. But yeah, look, thank you so much for joining us. If you've enjoyed this one, give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube or Spotify. Or
a review on
Spotify. Yeah, that would be nice.
Or Apple
if you watch all of our podcast episodes, and we're talking to you, or you. No, I'm talking to you. I am talking to you very specifically.
What about the other one?
And you. I'm watching you as well.
Archie, this is one for you to edit.
Good luck. Or you. I'm making Archie's life really hard. Sorry, Archie. But yes, I'm talking to you. If you are loving the Grow with Evergreen podcast and you tune in most weeks and you're finding real value in this, give us a little review. And then we'll send you a little thank you and say thank you so much, because it means a lot. But yeah, we're having fun. I'm going to go and stand. I was going to say outside, but it's 30 degrees.
Yeah.
So in the freezer.
Stand in the freezer.
Yeah, I'm going to go stick my head in the freezer. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Hello, beautiful people. I hope you enjoyed today's Grow with Evergreen podcast. I want to ask you if you would like to be my next guest. We're looking for more home, garden and lifestyle brands to join us. So if you're using paid media such as Google ads and Meta ads, if you're willing to be honest and open, and if you're wanting to grow online, then I think you'll find our podcast incredibly helpful for your business. You can apply directly via our website. Simply click on the navigation in the top right-hand side of the website and select podcast. Fill in the application and one of my team will get back to you. Best of all, it's completely free to join us on the Grow with Evergreen podcast. I look forward to helping you grow your business very soon.